All right. To borrow that from old Kevin Hart. First off, man, let me big up the men. I really want to big up the men right now, the ones that are actually handling their business. Not you boys, not you man children, not boys looking for a parent that wasn't there. We're talking about the men that actually handle their fucking business. I salute you right now. I just want to thank you for the sacrifices that you make for your families. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, we talk about on this show, we big up, women quite often. So y'all gonna have to take a back seat today. But I just want to thank every man, puts in that effort, man. You know what I'm saying? Giving your best, giving your all for your families. And, you go to work, you do your best to push yourself, you get tired, you want to complain, but it's like, who will listen? Well, what we want to do is create a community for men to actually have that amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to be strong for our families. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that we don't show emotion. It just means we have to be strong for our families because that's required as men. And I just wanted to take time before this episode to just thank every man, you know what I'm saying, that puts in that work every week, every day, every second of their lives, you know what I'm saying? The men that's just hanging on by a thread and just feels like the world could give a damn about them. And, in some cases, that might be true. But there are plenty of us that appreciate you, man. Those that value, those of us that value men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to tell you guys, man, I'm so grateful for you guys operating in your masculine. You know what I'm saying? Representing like you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Leading our youth so that they can have something, especially young men. Young boys having, something they want to aspire to be, and then young girls having an ideal of what to go towards, like an example of what to look for in a man. So it's not easy. You make mistakes, but you know what? You get up, you brush yourself off, and you keep going forward. And what can I say? I'm in awe of you guys, man. Just truly thankful for you guys being here to carry the torch of masculinity that's left, because they are trying to take this shit out. But thank you for putting masculinity first, emotional intelligence first, teaching our women how to manage their emotions, teaching our children how to manage their emotions, making them feel valued, being leaders, you know what I mean? And not projecting our insecurities onto our women, not projecting our insecurities onto our children, but leading and being the calm of the storm, and I can't say it enough. Grateful for you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the show. I already had the skills of wanting to provide, and work hard as I could for my family. But the engaging aspect with being emotionally intelligent, learning how to master your emotions, not throwing tantrums, making decisions, like those type of cues I had to learn from reading books. From like by definition of what I would consider what I know about masculinity is now, I'm gonna say that I don't see that I saw any one man that embodied all of that. Places where you excited to go to as a kid. Definitely play places at McDonald's. McDonald's in general. Like when we lived in Cuba as a Navy brat, all our birthday parties were at the same fucking McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big base, but from what I remember, yeah, we used to love going to like McDonald's, making a whole bunch of noise with balloons. I remember making annoying ass sounds with balloons, and I enjoyed going there. My cousin Tiff was with me. She was a baby then, you know. Love you, baby. Love you, Tiff. She was like, I think Tiff was like maybe 3, so that puts me at like 5. And you know, me and her, and we're still like this, you know, like brother, you know, it's like brother and sister. We got our own lives going on, but you best believe she called me on the bat phone. It's going down, and vice versa. But very, you know, like very protective, and so exciting places to go to as a kid. Birthday parties in Cuba, and Gitmo, you know what I'm saying, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. We would there's one particular birthday party that I remember because Tiff actually got video of the shit, and she said, you know what I'm saying, she showed it to me. It's like a private thing through YouTube and whatnot, but it's us, and I'm protecting all her gifts. I'm like making sure don't nobody fuck with her shit, any of her birthday gifts. And then we go outside, and I'm riding the pony or whatever, and then she's like holding the leash to the pony, and then this girl tried to come up and take the leash, and Tiff was about to beat this girl's ass at 3 years old. It was cute. It was cute. Places I used to like to go to as a kid. My grandma's house, for that matter. Fuck what you heard, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Discovery Zone, Chuck E. Cheese, Dave and Buster's got a lot of fun, but there was nothing like being in the back room in my cousin's room playing video games from the time we arrived from the time we were leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, so say we get there on a Friday. We are playing Madden, NBA Live, NBA Jam, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Mortal Kombat, what else? Mario Kart, Mario World, take it back even further, Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl, Tecmo Wrestling, some other shit that we used to play. Oh, Mike Tyson Punch Out, Paperboy, Bump and Jump. Like, I can go on for days. Like, the games that we used to play was endless. That was all life to me. Like, the way that I see some kids today, like, having a video game addiction. We're just addicted to dopamine. And there was no more dopamine that I got than, you know what I'm saying, playing video games with my older cousin. I just wanted to be able to beat him. He was a challenge for me. He pushed me, you know what I'm saying, to be better at gaming. All my cousins, really, man. My cousins used to bust my ass, you know what I'm saying. My cousin Davey, I would bust my ass in Mario Kart, NBA Live, what else? The Saturday Night Slam Masters, Richard bust me. I was just like trying to, you know, just keep up. And eventually, you know, we got better and became competitive, and it was, you know what I'm saying, like, it was fun. For a while, I was getting my ass kicked though. Cousin Dougie used to bust my ass in Super Tecmo NBA basketball. But grandma's house, you know, grandma's house was a place I wanted to, that was most exciting. That was an exciting place to go to as a kid. You never knew what you would see. You know what I'm saying? So many characters, so many laughs, some hard times, you know what I'm saying? But overall, just being there with cousins, man, like we did, I'm telling you, we did everything together. And I do mean together, watching movies, the same movie over and over again. I don't know how many times we watched Forrest Gump, Hook, a lot of movies, you know, The Little Mermaid, fucking Aladdin, all the Disney movies. I used to get them shits like, my mom would always, you know, get whatever, you know, like Disney movie that was popular at the time, you know what I'm saying? And we would watch them over and fucking over again. Of course, the little kid stuff, the Barneys. Heard Barney, like, I don't know how much. My little brother used to watch fucking Barney. So grandma's house for many reasons, cookouts. playing video games, just to sum that up. What else? Another place I used to like to go as a kid, as a teenager, to the pool. The pool in Burbage Grant, because it was girls. You know what I'm saying? This is where the hormones kick in, and you're trying to see something. You know what I'm saying? And we was some grown little people out there trying to do some things we ain't had no business doing at the pool. 13, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? 14. Shit that we had no business doing. But that was what that's what me and my boys enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? We go there and try to hit on girls that might pay us attention, might not pay us attention, being too funny, too goofy, all that. You know what I mean? Where else would I like to go as a kid? King's Dominion. King's Dominion was like, that was where we wanted to. That was the roller coaster capital for us. Like we would go with my family. You know what I'm saying? My mom would, save up enough and take me and my brother and me and my dad sometimes. And then like collectively as a family, we did. I know there's a picture of like me and my cousins, and we're just sitting there in front of the sign. I got on a 49ers jersey, some Nike Air Maxes. And then there's my little brother, my cousin, and my cousin Tony and his sister, Christy, and we just sitting there, you know what I'm saying? And just young. And I'm almost 40. They're just hitting 30, so time flies by. But King's Dominion, you know what I'm saying? Going there, seeing whatever the new ride was, like Volcano. When Volcano came out, Volcano was like that shit. 13 years, I remember being that 1998. Yeah, 13 years old, and Volcano came out, and we went to King's Dominion that summer. I think that was that same trip I was talking about. And yeah, we rode on Volcano. That shit was wild, yo. That was a fun roller coaster. And then the Outer Limits. The Outer Limits is a fun roller coaster at King's Dominion. It's in Doswell, Virginia. For anybody that's a roller coaster fan, go check it out. But great fucking time. There. The movies as a kid, definitely like to go to the movies. Try to sneak in the movies, chasing girls. You know what I'm saying? Where else do we like to go? Plaza Skating Rink. Yeah, Plaza Skating Rink in P-Town, in Portsmouth. Saturday nights we would try to go there. My mom wouldn't let me go as much because it was a lot of shooting going on out there. For whatever reason, it would be, like end of the night, 12 o'clock, parents come pick us up, somebody firing off their gun in the parking lot just to show off. But nobody, as far as I know, no one's ever been killed. Nothing like from back then, at least back then, I remember. But used to play all the, the dope skating rink music. That was a time where Ghost Town DJs, my boo was popular. So that used to skate to the Percolator. It's a Faith. What is this? Love Like This Before. Like skating rink records. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear that. And I think about us at the plaza. I used to get the pizza. The pizza used to be hidden. You want to get the fries, put the hot sauce on it. It was a good time. Young. You know what I'm saying? It was young. But great times as a kid. And then I'll say last but not least, where else did like to go? Oh yeah, the Grove Baptist Church picnics, because not only were we into girls, we was into playing ball. So the picnics was like all of us played ball. So like when we would come to like the picnics, it was more like, all right, we're gonna see what you got. We're gonna show off. I definitely was showing off. I was a showboater. Loved to rebound and all that stuff. But I just thought I was being fly for the girls and shit like that. It's funny, as much as I was doing for the girls, I didn't think I would ever get one. Like I said, straight low self-esteem with that. But I say we had a good time. We really did have a good time doing the things that we did. Being kids.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed my childhood. It's great. It really was great. I truly did enjoy it. I mean, don't get me wrong, some dark moments, but they can. They're. I mean, if the great far outweighs the the unwanted. But yeah, those were some places I felt. I went to growing up for excitement, and yeah. What can I say? I enjoy those times.
What examples did you have for masculinity growing up? My examples for masculinity came in various form and in different ways through different people. I can say that I learned the concept of providing from my father. You know, it's like there was nothing that man wouldn't do to provide for his family as far as working late hours, strange ass hours. You know what I mean? Just to keep the lights on, just to make sure that we had clothes on our back, and so there's that piece. Pastor Mariner, I learned as far as like leading a flock, seeing that being displayed, that was cool to see. Growing up in Grove Baptist Church, couple of coaches, that I've had throughout my life, lead men, and to becoming better versions of themselves. That is, Coach Williams, from what I remember when we played AAU back in the G. This is like 99, 2000 range. I believe it was, it was 8th grade. There's like a transition from 8th grade to 9th grade, playing basketball, and Coach Williams, like he really did look out for us, he stood up for us with calls. I think getting ejected from games sometimes, you know how that goes, man. But a lot of my friends' fathers too, you know what I mean? They you had that, what's the name, Daddy Mean, that type of thing, but he also understood his role as far as what he had to look after. So, it might have been little, might have been very brief, but it made a lasting impact on me mentally looking back at it. Once I took time to think about it, but my boy Darish's dad, Mr. Ronnie, Navy, I think a Navy chief if I'm not mistaken. So he would, it was always on us. You know what I'm saying, about being on our P's and Q's and shit. Wherever we get into mischief and all that, he would be right there to shoot the shit with us, talk football, watch football. He would, just be present. Like I can honestly say that my boys, his sons, Darius and Trayson, they had, outside looking in, they had present. They were engaging with their parents, and that was cool to see that they could be engaging with their kids and stuff like that. I'm sure everything is not all hunky-dory and everything's perfect by any means, but outside looking in, it looked dope that they interacted with one another. You know what I'm saying? Showed up for like functions, and they were involved with the sports teams and all that. That to me was cool to see. So that was an influence as far as like masculinity growing up, like as far as being a part of something. I'll say when it comes to standing up, and I'll say down the ride, my cousins, my older cousins, they got into shit, mild shit, neighborhood fights or stuff like that. But to see that they didn't seem to me like they were afraid I mean, even if they were afraid, they still went through with, with the get down, you know what I'm saying? If it came down to fight, you know? And, but they were, protecting, if you will. Just like to see that, knowing that if it came down to a fight, it is what it is, that type of shit. And me, I was a soft kid. I didn't really have, my parents didn't really instill that type of shit in me and my brother, as far as like standing up for yourself, or even fighting for that matter. Like, you would be in trouble if you fought, was the consensus that me and my brother came up with. So it was like, I would rather look like a bitch than not get love from my parents, is the concept, is what ends up happening. So it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit. So the alternative was to become the funny guy, and succeeded with it. But being funny doesn't always come with respect. So it took me like 30 some years to understand that, grasp, to put the other side of masculinity into it. I was always, I'll say I already had the skills of wanting to provide, and work hard as I could for my family, but the engaging aspect with being emotionally intelligent, learning how to master your emotions, not throwing tantrums, making decisions, you know what I mean? Like, those type of cues I had to learn from reading books. I mean, like, it, from like by definition of what I would consider what I know about masculinity is now, I'm gonna say that I don't see that I saw any one man that embodied all of that. Unfortunately, it's just how shit went down. That's just my opinion and my perspective with that. But I can honestly say that they did the best they could with what they knew. And I didn't know my damn self becoming of age on a lot of things as far as masculinity goes. Masculinity does not mean you're so quick to fight. Fighting is the last resort. That's just a martial arts 101 type mentality. But the ability to know that you can defend yourself is part of being masculine. You know what I'm saying? Self-defense is a required skill to add to your masculinity. And so like I said, when I was young, yeah, I was not. If this was like the wild and survival, I wouldn't have had a mate. I didn't have the necessary skills that a woman, choosing, a source for survival. I didn't have those skills. I didn't know to have these skills. So now, understanding what resources that to have in order to attract, I'll say, a mate worth your time. It's different now. I understand the concept of being masculine, of speaking up, making decisions, honing in your emotions as much as possible, because we are human, and triggers happen, but be mindful enough to manage said triggers once you've been alerted to that. Examples of masculinity, like I said, my friends' fathers growing up, some aspects of my father, some aspects of the men in our family, because we really didn't have that, that solid, I'll say alpha male type shit. The women kind of were the backbone, they were leading the charge, and a woman is not able to show you how to be a man. You know what I mean? So you're gonna pick up traits from them. You're still gonna do like boyish type things, but only a man can show a boy how to be a man. A woman can she can do her damnness, but it's different, man. It's different, and I know that, it's a lot of cases, especially in our community, where it's only the woman in the household. but think about how that individual manages their emotions, because they're going to respond the way they see the parent that they're closest with. And a lot of times I responded the way I saw my mother responded, you know what I'm saying? And it took time to learn how to manage said emotions that would come up. Learning how to have emotional intelligence, trying to control your triggers to the best of your ability. It's a struggle. It really is a struggle. But I know that I was fortunate enough to have the upbringing that I did, because it brought me where I am right now. If I didn't go through any of the shit, whether I perceived it as good or bad, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Yeah, I say aspects of masculinity. Military leaders, some military leaders, that, like in the Air Force, being young, seeing individuals that stood up for their people, that was major. Looking out for them, putting their people before anything else. To me, that was a noble thing to see. Masculinity, family, friends, co-workers. Yeah, that's what I would say for my examples of masculinity growing up. What do you think of society's idea of what a man should be? Today's man is being crucified, in my opinion, for the sake of masculinity. And you're penalized for showing said masculinity. And there's this idea, there's this notion, there's this ideology of trying to make men and women equal. And we never will be. We will never be equal as man and woman. We will complement each other's lives, but we will never, ever be equal. If we were equal, there would be no WNBA. There'd just be the NBA, But from a physical standpoint, we were built stronger than women. You know what I mean? And that's nothing against a woman's strength, because a woman is strong in different ways. She was built to be stronger emotionally. Crazy enough, I can admit that. Like, I believe that a woman is more inclined to deal with her emotions a hell of a lot better and more accepted in society than that of a man. If a man were to come out and express his emotions in the manner in which a woman does, we would lose respect for him. And that is, that's another thing going on in our society with men, is the emasculation that's going on. We are emasculating the man, and we're making our women much more masculine, and we're making our men more feminine. And you can see it in the products, you can see it in television program, you can see it in movies, you can hear it in music. And strangely enough, and this is my opinion, and I stand by it, and it is what it is, but if you listen to like the likes of, XX Extension, whatever, PlayStation, Xbox Station, however you say his name, or Juice World, or any, they're singing, you know what I'm saying? It's like emo rap, you know what I'm saying? And then you have today's woman, the rapper, the Lottos, the Glorilla, who else? I'm telling you, they rough. Goes hard, you know what I'm saying? Some tracks. But it's like, you can see the shift that's going on. You know what I mean? We are made to be a lot more softer. And Stephen Arnio, God rest his soul, died a few years ago, but he wrote a book and he had a brilliant notion on it. It said, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So I believe we're at the point where weak men are creating hard times. And it's all about in our raising. We've been enabled, we've been entitled to certain things. We haven't been made to deal with struggle, if you will, and running at the first sign of trouble, not being mentally sound to deal with whatever comes up, right? And I believe society is like making it okay. I'm definitely a proponent for mental health. However, we're not going to grow unless we struggle as men. We have to go through our own struggle as men, and we have to find our way out of it if we're going to. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a tribe of men on the same mentality of masculinity to create more men. It takes brotherhood. You know what I mean? And what that does is create a group of men with certain skills and qualities that women, would long for to create families with. Resources, things, skills that some of us weren't necessarily taught to have. And that's the hard part when you've never seen it before. But to become an adult and study, read, keep your ear to the ground, and learn about the history of man and masculinity, and try to use the past to create a better future. And you can do that. I mean, mental health is great for that. Like, a man being sound with emotional intelligence can do just about anything. Like, not wanting to fight at the first sign of someone testing you. Being able to hone in those emotions, protect yourself, and using fighting as a last resort, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to express what you're trying to say on the inside. It's a skill that has to be practiced. Practice makes progress. So it's like, all right, I want to be a man for my family. I want to be a man that a woman trusts me to lead. She can rely upon that I'm going to get shit done type thing. And how does one do that if you've never seen it before? Like I just said, reading, studying, being honest with yourself, having an accountability mirror, as David Goggins says, holding yourself accountable where you're weak and finding out what your weaknesses are and working on them. Being a best version of yourself daily, constantly like challenging yourself mentally, and remembering to put yourself first. If you continue to put everybody else before you, you won't have anything for you. You have, as a man, it is a must that you work on yourself mentally, man, because you're going to get burnt out trying to find your self-worth on the exterior. It's weird how we go outside of ourselves looking for self-worth, and everything about self-worth comes from self. So I say that, learning about masculinity. Today's man turns to his woman. Okay, so let's go back to society. And what do I think about society's man? Idea of a man. Today's man is to turn to his girl for for answers. Oh, she's got it. Ask your mama. That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of being the one to take charge, being the one to help the kids with the homework too. Not just her, being a team, two minds working with this one mind, trying to give them the best at what they have. Communicating so that the child can have both parents as an influence in their lives, so that they can be healthier in society. You know what I mean? Allowing a young girl to see, a masculine man, so that she knows what she's going to go towards, so that she knows to be in control of her emotions. If a lot of us had more masculinity presence in our lives from our fathers and stuff like that, we control our emotions a hell of a lot better. And that's where therapy can come in. That's where mental health is really big. Truthfully, emotional intelligence is something that goes under the radar, but it's a cheat sheet to life. If you are to survive in this life, emotional intelligence is what you want to study. YouTube emotional intelligence, Google emotional intelligence. Understand what that means. Manage, practice mindfulness. You know what I'm saying? Learn about Toltec wisdom, and watch the shift in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will no longer project onto others. You'll understand that everything you do is just about you. Today's man, doesn't stand up. The average. I'll say the average. I'm saying that it's not. No men are out here doing these things, but it's like turning to expecting the woman to do everything, expecting the woman to cook. Not to mention she goes to work, comes home, be with the kids. Now she got to take care of you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, learning how to step up, man. Promoting oneself to a position of mastery so that you can take the load off. You know what I'm saying? Of your woman who does things with the kids, who does things at the job, who even probably tidies up the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, becoming something that is become high value. Yeah, that's it. Just become high value, be calming, you know what I'm saying? Like, with your emotions, don't project. Like, when we get emotional, we force our woman to become our mother. You know what I'm saying? And it's like learning how to control said emotions. I believe this is just my perspective. I am but one person. I'm sure everybody else has their own ideology on this stuff. But I mean, for me, I just feel that if we learn to control our emotions, if we remain calm in the storm, it's respected more. It's not to say that you don't express yourself. You just learn how to, you express your emotions, but you don't become emotionally. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. And that's what I believe is a turnoff for women, is when men become emotional. You know what I mean? To the point where we're acting like children, that is. Now, as far as being able to express one's emotion to your woman, or, you know what I'm saying, even to your fellas, your homies, your friends, like, that to me is part of being masculine. Understanding how to manage your emotions, having intelligence of what you feel, being able to express what you feel in a way that is considered masculine. So, I mean, today's man, he's got a lot of work to do, right? Because of what the programming, the emasculating men over time in TV shows, the bumbling idiot fathers in TV shows that we saw growing up. You know what I mean? Like, the woman always kept things together type things. Like the Cliff Huxtables, the what is it? The Carl Winslows, the Danny Tanners, the who else, man? It's a whole was it Tim Taylor, Tim the Toolman Taylor, same shit, like always getting into some shit, and then like the woman just comes and clean that up. You see the programming that they've done for us, as to thinking that this is how men should be viewed. But no, that's not what, for one, it becomes a burden to, I believe it becomes a burden to a family for a woman to have to clean up everything, you know what I'm saying, and have that pressure all on her. And like, that's the main thing, versus it being a team effort. And we complement each other's life, and we keep the balance there for our kids, so that they can see that shit and they grow up and look for a man that does the same thing, and they look for a woman who does, that does the same. But it starts with example. So the only thing I can do is work on me, be the best version of me, and do my best to be the best man that I can be for my family, and everybody around me. Learning masculinity every day, not beating yourself up, losing perfectionism, working on progress, and just staying the course. What can I say, man? So that is my thoughts on society's idea of a man today.